After an exhilarating first race of the 1-Up Turbo Truck Series doubleheader at Nashville, we're back for part 2. Another 75 laps here at Nashville Superspeedway with almost the entire field inverted to start this second race. Race number 8 of the 1-Up Turbo Trucks for 2023. And just as it was yesterday, alongside me to bring you the action is James Ellison once again. And, well, what more could you say about that first race? It was absolutely fantastic, and now we get to do it all over again.
Take 2 and... well, I should say Act 2, not Take 2, because that would mean we'd be starting everything over from yesterday. But this is going to be I believe we're going to have the same kind of fun we had yesterday.
Yeah, it's going to be a good race, I feel, because not only are we going to have the same kind of racing action we had yesterday, we're also going to have all the good trucks from yesterday coming from the absolute rear of the field for the start of today's race. And we've got all the drivers who performed not so great in the first race starting up front here. So we could see some newcomers up at the front, or we could see the same few from last time fight their way up to all the way from the back to the front. Either way, we're going to have something very exciting to bring you guys, because we can now bring you the starting lineup, which was inverted. We had the top 41 finishers from yesterday's race inverted to set the lineup for today. And that means that Max O'Quinn and Gentry Shoy, in just their second ever starts each, they're going to take us to the green flag from the front row. That's just going to be absolutely fantastic to watch. Suleiman Saryev lines up third, right behind his teammate. Arish Sarkar fourth, and Levi Forley rounds out the top 5. Honestly, with all the big names starting out back and all the relative unknowns starting out front, this is exactly what we wanted to see for this doubleheader format. Some new faces up at the front and some big names fighting their way from the back.
Yeah, there's one here that I'm seeing that had a good start in the first race, and that's Henry Brown. He started up in 6th in yesterday's race, and he's not starting too much further back this time, but we'll see what happens. This is going to be an exciting one.
So with that being said, we once again have 42 trucks ready to take the green flag in the opposite order they finished yesterday. This is the 1-Up Turbo Truck Series from Nashville Superspeedway, part 2 of the doubleheader. It's coming at you live next. Stay tuned, because the green flag is mere moments from falling on these 42 trucks. Heading into the restart zone, the green flag is already out, and Max O'Quinn and Gentry Shoy lead us to the green flag. Shoy spun the tires on the start. He's backing up that outside line in quite a big way, and that allows for Suleiman Saryev to get underneath Gentry Shoy for second place, and it's the two Ford Racing Development teammates leading the way as we head down the backstretch for the first time.
And you want to talk about exposure, there's nothing better than being able to get a great start from being put on the pole for an inversion race, and I don't think he's going to get to keep that very long, though.
No, because Levi Forley is making a charge. He started 5th. He's already fighting for the lead as we start lap number 2, and he's taking Roger James with him in that 22. These are the two trucks I was most interested in starting up front. These are top-level trucks, but they didn't have the best performance yesterday. Could they have a better run here today? We're about to find out, because Levi Forley gets a push from Roger James to the inside and to the lead, the 00, the Great Dane out in the lead.
Yeah, don't look now. My truck that struggled the most, Jacob Buchholz, he's taken advantage of being among the leaders here for the first few laps anyway, and he's up to 3rd already.
Yeah, he's doing a nice job. Because considering his teammate Dalton State starting right at the back for today's race due to his great finish yesterday, but here comes Roger James to the inside. We're gonna have 3 different leaders in the first 3 laps of this race, and Roger James comes off of turn 4. He will lead at Nashville Superspeedway. Great run for him. He takes the lead, but Levi Forley tucks back into 2nd. I wouldn't be surprised to see him try and make a challenge later on.
Yeah, keeping that 10 behind him as Buchholz making a move. We're not going to get to see 4 different leaders in 4 laps, I would not be surprised if that 10's leading here soon if things play out right.
Yeah, look at we've got a lot of new faces up at the front of the field. Guys, we haven't talked about much at all this season, let alone in this race. But, like, for example, this guy, Avidus Davtjian in this '07, I'm probably butchering that so hard, but he started this race in the just outside the top 10, and he's racing in the top 5 now. This truck only made one previous start this season at Auto Club Speedway, and it finished last. So this is a great run for the 07 team, who really needs something good to happen to get themselves back in the top 30 battle.
And that'd be great to see. I would say watch out now, because there's that familiar 25 we saw up in the top 10 most of the race yesterday, already making some moves from 23rd.
It only took 6 laps for Samantha Jade to come from the 20s up into the top 5. That just goes to show you the strength of that 25 truck. And look, Brandon Smith, Billy Kidd, these guys were up front yesterday. They started at the back, and now they're making their way to the front. It's so easy to come from the back to the front here. That's what we love about racing here at Nashville. And look at Bronson Minnick. He was leading up. He led the most laps yesterday. Now he's racing Buchholz for second.
Yeah, I'm honestly not surprised, as, like you said, one of the fastest trucks, and you got Jade right there moving past the 10 now, following in behind Minnick. And yeah, this was predictable, honestly.
How about this for the 2 New England Cruisers Racing trucks? They've made their way up to the lead. They're passing Roger James. This is a fantastic run for that Ford group, regardless, because Nick Ortiz has got to be watching this race from home, and Ricky Freeman Jr. too. They've got to be smiling watching their trucks run 1-2 here at Nashville. Minnick leads Jade. This looks awfully familiar, wouldn't you say?
It is a bit familiar. And then, yeah, the Henry Brown back there, he's hanging on pretty good at the moment.
Whoa, look at the back. Look at the... I hate to interrupt, but look at the back. Noah Hart went down on the apron to pass about 5 trucks in the span of one straightaway. He's making huge gains in that 11 truck. He was running right behind Eric Zenson coming out of turn 4, and he passed about 6 trucks in the span of one straightaway.
Yeah, but some of that might be all for naught here a little bit if Terzic there can get by him, as we see more. Oh, I was going to say, don't you dare go 4 wide, and they settled out, thankfully.
Yeah, this is a great racetrack for one-up racing of any kind. We've seen the national cars run here a few years ago, and now the trucks have made this place their home. This is great racing. And now Roger James back to the lead in the 22. He's gotten back past Minnick and Jade, so Roger James doing a very good job holding the lead. Could he get his first career win here today, like Zenson did yesterday?
I'd say he's got a shot, because it looks like that 22 truck is a really good truck. Just track position wasn't there for him yesterday, and it's there for him today as Samantha Jade going inside for the lead.
And Levi Forley getting underneath Minnick and Roger James. So Samantha Jade taking Levi Forley with her. This could be Samantha Jade's first time in the lead in her entire career. Samantha Jade leads at Nashville. We're completing lap number 11 now. This 25 is a really good truck.
And we were talking about drivers that didn't take too long to get back in the field. It didn't take too much longer. You see the 18 and the 72, they're now in the top 10.
Yeah, it just goes to show you, we've got a mix now. We've got some guys who started up at the front today, and we've got guys who started absolutely at the back. But they're all converging up at the front now as Brandon Smith makes his way towards the top 5, along with Billy Kidd. This is just... and we've only completed 12 laps. Imagine what this is going to look like at the very end of the race.
That's going to be interesting. We can see it's, of course, Minnick now going back for second, and probably wants that lead back, no doubt.
And even if it's his teammate who he gives a bumper shot to. So Bronson Minnick puts the bumper to the back of his teammate Jade to take the lead back. And here's Billy Kidd. He came so close to winning this race yesterday. He wants redemption. He's gonna follow Brandon Smith to try and get to the front. That's not a bad person to follow, considering how fast that 18 was yesterday as well.
Oh no, definitely not. And I would look for that 43 Nathan Ormond. I'd look for him to try to make his way up here because that was quite the charge yesterday.
Yeah, he had a solid race yesterday. I believe he finished 11th. A strong day for Nathan Ormond yesterday. We'll see if he can back it up today with a strong finish as well. But we're only just now approaching the 20% mark of this race. And Bronson Minnick, Brendan Smith, Billy Kidd, 1, 2, 3. This very much looks familiar for everybody. And for those of you who say, oh, it's not really a good format because the same people are running up front regardless of the invert, this is great because you have the best of the best starting at the very back of the field, clawing their way through 30-plus trucks to get to this point. That's just great racing.
You can't knock this format. It's doing quite a good job of giving those who normally are just back markers some time in the spotlight here. Looking at the Dalton State there, he's one of those who finished up started at the very back from having a great finish yesterday. He's starting to join the mix.
But here comes Billy Kidd to the inside of Brendan Smith for the race lead, and he's not going to quite get him at the line, but he should be able to get him going into turn 1. And he does so. Billy Kidd to the race lead here at Nashville Superspeedway. Could he be the one to bring a Robbers Racing sweep at the Nashville Superspeedway? That would be fantastic for the hometown team.
You know that would be a great thing. That whole organization would just love to be able to say that they dominated Nashville. Maybe not the whole race through each time, but coming to the checkered first, one of their ducks would be in both races would certainly be something to be thankful for and party pretty hard for.
Yeah, but Billy Kidd's got a good shot at it. He's out in the lead now, and with Roger James and Bronson Minnick side by side for second behind him, he can just stretch that lead out a little bit more. So as they come off turn 4 to complete lap number 18, Billy Kidd holds the lead. And look at this battle for second. Aguo Zhao in the 98 making a big charge. He started third in the race yesterday. Started a little further back this time around, but he's making a move for second. Look at him go.
Just about to make a statement. I was about ready to say I thought I saw Zhao there, and yeah, he's there, and got quite the mix here. State moving forward once again. This is some good stuff.
And how about Nick Breeding in the 47? He's making a move for second now in that 47 truck. And he really needs a good run to impress future team owners. As Dalton Sate dives to the inside of both of them, Sate's going to try and move up into second spot.
Gonna try, but Breeding's holding on strong. Honestly, I'm already glad that I signed him to take over this 31 truck. He's doing an impressive job so far, and I'm thoroughly happy on the team owner side of things, even if he's making me nervous.
Oh, and they were almost 4 wide behind him, so that's another reason to get a little nervous. But everybody makes it through cleanly. We stay green on lap 21. We have Billy Kidd leading, Nick Breeding second, Dalton Sate, Brandon Smith, Samantha Jade the top 5. A couple of guys up here we don't normally expect to be up here, but now that they are, they're showing why they belong here.
Yeah, and this is going to be big as we see Sate get passed once again. But we saw a lot of shuffling yesterday, so this is not out of the ordinary.
No, it is not, but still a fantastic run regardless of where they finish. But here comes Brandon Smith underneath Nick Breeding. This is for second spot, coming down the back straightaway, and wow. This racing's just really intense. I don't know what more to say about it. This is just a great racing action. And Brandon Smith moves up into second spot. He's going to try and chase down Kidd now for the lead.
And Sate wants third back, but and looking further back, that it seems like things are starting to get a little more stretched out than they were before, but still a good bit of battling going on throughout the field.
You're absolutely right about that. And although we have like the top 6 or 7 single file now, there's still a lot of great side-by-side racing for the fans to enjoy. And who knows, we might even see more side-by-side battles for position in this group before too long either. So great runs all around as Billy Kidd we're closing in on the 1/3 mark here at Nashville. And Dalton Sate, there we go, he makes a move on Brandon Smith for second once again.
Yeah. I'm very happy to see this, but I got to remember the reality. It may not last.
Even if it doesn't, that's still a strong run. And Dalton Sate, he wants to lead this race. Remember, he led the most laps at Auto Club Speedway a few months ago, and now he wants to lead again. But he now has Nick Breeding underneath him for second place, and I expect the 47 to get underneath him the 1, and he does. Billy Kidd's held the lead for quite some time now. I'm very impressed by that.
Yeah, and Breeding just hanging in there as well.
Doing a good job to hang in there is Nick Breeding. He's up to second. Levi Forley up to third for Robbers Racing. So the Robbers Racing trucks are running 1-3-6, I believe. So 1-3-7 now with Angel Gutierrez in seventh. They need to get Eric Zenson up here for yesterday's winner, and we'll have a full party of Robbers Racing trucks up here. But Billy Kidd continues to lead. He's got a fantastic lead up at the front, and I don't expect him to lose it anytime soon. He's just run a smooth, clean race, and he's doing a great job. What more can I say? Oh, I hate to interrupt, but we've got trouble on the racetrack. Caution flies, and a big crash with Dmitry Bortnik, Jensen Nomina, and one other truck involved. I think it was the 48 of Jeremy Frey. Yes, it was. So the caution flag flies for the first time here on lap number 26. And this is where everybody's going to make their pit stops. I fully expect it now. Yep, they're all pulling onto the apron. We're going to have around the yellow flag pit stops here for a big crash involving at least 3 trucks, maybe more. So they make their way onto pit road now for the start. And at this point in time, we're just waiting, we're just watching, we're just hoping to see what these guys do. Because here they come on the pit road. We are going to see what these guys do as far as strategy. I fully expect these guys are going to take 4 tires here. Because that'll pack it full of fuel, give them 4 tires. That'll be enough to get them to the end, but I don't know. We shall see. Pit stops fully underway as everybody pulls into their pit boxes. A lot of the leaders were pitted at the back end of the pit road because they started all the way there. Here's Max O'Quinn pulling into his pit box. And moment of truth time. We will soon see who makes it into the front here at... It looks like Nick Breeding's actually going to win the race off pit road. Oh, and Forley... Oh, man. Levi Forley almost got sideswiped. He did get sideswiped by Gentry Shoy coming into his pit, but man, Billy Kidd loses the lead on pit road. Give it to the 47 of Nick Breeding, who leads this race now. Coming out of turn 2 now, and I think it was a teammate collision. Yes, it was. It was between Bronson Minnick and Jensen Nomina, 2 teammates coming together, and he just watches up, right into the path of Jeremy Frey. That's just Frey was an innocent victim in that, as was Dmitry Bortnik. He took a rough shot to the front end of that 35 truck to bring out caution for the first time. Looks like Frey and Bortnik for sure out of this race, but man, what a wreck that was to start this race off. Yeah, we're looking now at Jeremy Frey in this 48, and you can see just in front of him the 2 teammates collide. Nomina goes sliding into turn 3, and Frey's just got nowhere to go. That's just difficult because Jeremy Frey was having a decent race, as was Dmitry Bortnik. Now both are out of the race. As we bring back James Ellison, who's made his way down for a first for one-up competition. We've taken him down to the pits to get a closer look at Jeremy Frey's damage, and I think for sure he's done for the day.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. I apologize. Another technical difficulties, but I'm back. It's looking really good here for breeding, but yeah, that is unfortunate for Frey and company, who all those who ended up out of this one.
So 2 trucks out of this race, Jeremy Frey and Dmitry Bortnik. Those 2 will be finished 41st and 42nd in the race, but we've got half a lap to the restart, and Nick Breeding is your new leader. I believe this is the first time he's ever led at a non-super speedway, so who knows what this race could have in store. But we're about to find out on this restart. We're going to have a restart at lap 31. Nick Breeding leads Levi Forley, Billy Kidd, Dalton Sate, and Roger James to complete the top 5. And yeah, this is going to be a very close restart. I have a feeling, though, the racing's just going to pick up from here.
I believe so. This is just going to be interesting to watch, and a lot of these drivers. And
we got a smoker in the back, and it's Henry Brown in the 70. He was going to restart 6th, and now his race is run and done. Henry Brown is, if he didn't have any bad luck, he just wouldn't have any luck, because this 70 team, he's had a miserable season up to this point, and he was on pace to have a strong day today, but that's now over and done with. In that 70, he's going to try and limp it back to pit road and hopefully not bring out another caution in the process. But Nick Breeding continues to lead this race off of turn 4, and Breeding now leads a green flag lap here at the non-super speedway.
That's going to be big. And of course, Sate right there. I mean, you got so many different options. Roger James, looks like Henry's going to make it back to pit road and not bring out the yellow again, which a lot of people in the field are going to be very thankful for. They want to race.
Yeah, but here comes Dalton Sate towards the lead as we see Henry Brown pulling in. He's going to retire from this race. So we hear the roar of the trucks passing by the start-finish straight and going down into turn 1. But for Henry Brown, it is game over at Nashville.
That is very unfortunate. But looking back at the battle for the lead here, Breeding has the lead. Sate wants it. When's he going to make his move?
Dalton Sate is hungry for the lead, and he wants to take it from Nick Breeding. These 2, neither of these trucks are in the top 20 in owners' points for what it's worth, but they're putting on an absolute thrill ride for these guys, as we only have 39 remaining in this race now. But here comes Billy Kidd, though, with a push from his teammate Forley. The 2 Robbers trucks could make this interesting in the late stages.
It could, but right now it's right between the 47 and the 31, but still a long way to go. Kidd seems to be breaking away from his teammate. Maybe he's going to try to do something about the front, too.
Yeah, he's going to try, as Forley tries to play a little defense on Terzic at the back. Because there's a guy we talked about a lot yesterday, Yadis Terzic. He's making his way into the top 5 now. But Nick Breeding, he continues to lead this race at an absolute canter. This is a great run for this 47 team. Like we said yesterday, he needs good runs to impress team owners, because if he doesn't, he might be out of a ride.
Yeah, that'd be a real unfortunate thing to have happen. But right now, he's putting on a show, and I'm pretty sure if he can keep this up, he'll turn some head.
Yeah, Nick Breeding doing a stupendous job. I'm tumbling over my words like you are. But here comes Terzic with a 3-wide move on Roger James and Angel Gutierrez. But Billy Kidd now makes a move on Dalton Sate. He's caught them. He's making a move. He's coming up to 2nd place. And he should be able to take it by the time they get back to turn 2.
Oh, Sate seems to be determined. He's not going to officially take it on this lap, but yeah, that 72 is too strong right now to keep fighting.
Yeah, but Dalton Sate's doing a spectacular job regardless. He's running 3rd. He started this race back in 37th, and he's all the way up to 3rd at the halfway point. That just goes to show you the strength of that 31 truck right now. But we're only just about to hit halfway in this race, and Nick Breeding is the halfway leader. Who saw that coming entering today?
Honestly, I would say I didn't. I have faith in him, but man, that it's good to see this, and I've been kind of ignoring all this way, but I think I need to talk to somebody back at the Crossroads shops about the rookie stripes on Sate's truck.
Maybe somebody got a bit lazy when redesigning the truck for Dalton State. Who knows? But we have Billy Kidd now back in the lead. He's past Nick Breeding on this lap, and he takes the lead back. Now Roger James and Angel Gutierrez are going to try and follow Nick Breeding to get past Dalton State, who's starting to slip a little bit. Still going to hang in there in the top 5, or at minimum the top 10. But once again, now you have all 3 Team Duke trucks in the top 10. They get around this place really well, as you saw yesterday. So, wow, Gutierrez made a big dive in the turn 3, didn't he?
That was a pretty good one. And looking at this truck, I'm glad to see it running strong because, if I recall correctly, I'm supposed to run a couple of races in this, and to see it up front is definitely making us with someone like Gutierrez with as little experience as he has. That's very encouraging.
And there's always that quote that says a home track always gives you a second's pace advantage. I'm not sure if that's true or not, but the Robbers Racing Brigade are certainly trying to make it true here today, as Nick Breeding goes to take the lead back from Billy Kidd. This 47's having a career day here at Nashville. Hopefully he can stay up there.
Career day, no matter if he wins or not. Like I said, he's gonna be turning some heads, and this scares me.
4 wide, that would scare anybody, but they settle it back down. I think, yes, they are. So it's gonna be Earl Sear nosing out ahead of Samantha Jade. That's the battle for the 5th position. As they come across the stripe, Nick Breeding holds the lead just barely over Angel Gutierrez, who's going for the lead in just his 3rd career start.
How about this? This is definitely something to be impressed by. And speaking of being impressed, yesterday's runner-up is currently just breaking into the top 10, so be on the lookout for that truck.
Yeah, Eric Zensen's trying to get there, and Arbon Logvishurin's trying to get there. These guys are putting on an absolute show for these Nashville fans, because we're closing in now on 30 laps to go, and Angel Gutierrez leading in just his 3rd career start. That is mighty impressive.
And when you got someone with some experienced drivers, like Billy Kidd behind you, and you're able to hold off for at least for a time, that's definitely going to impress some people.
Yeah, Angel Gutierrez, he's doing a great job, and he's holding off his veteran teammate Billy Kidd in the process. That's what's even more impressive at this stage of the race. And we've got some more challengers from yesterday coming up towards the front. Nelson Reeves, for example, he started back in 36. He's up in the top 5. Earl Sear started 34th. He's 7th. Jeremy Whalen started 32nd. He's 8th. Arbon Logvishurin started 40th. He's now in 10th place. As Giovanni Pena in 86 actually is the only driver in the 32nd bracket for fastest lap at a 30.98. He probably will be able to keep that fastest lap point unless we get another caution and another round of pit stops, as Billy Kidd dives under his rookie teammate for the lead.
Yeah, Angel wasn't going to be able to hold that for long with Kidd right behind him, but to be able to lead your more experienced teammate is something to be proud of, no matter what happens from here on out.
Yeah, Billy Kidd just doing a great job. He's doing everything he needs to do. And I wouldn't be surprised if he pulls into victory lane at the end of this thing. I really wouldn't. But we still have 30 laps to go, and as we know, lots can still happen in that time frame.
Oh, yes, and another familiar challenger for Kidd coming up here once again. So these battles keep going on, and I'm really all here for it.
Yep, and it's now a battle between Robbers Racing 1st and 3rd, Kings Motorsports 2nd and 4th. These guys are putting on a real show. And don't forget Team Duke, who are 5th, 7th, and now Whalen's fallen out of the top 10. But still, the teams have come out in full force here at Nashville for this doubleheader weekend. They've got to run a lot of a distance here. at Nashville with the same truck, and man, they're putting on a real show. As they're 3 wide further back, I think that's Zenson trying to get into the top 10, and he should be able to.
It's a Dalton Sate and maybe Nick Breeding. This has been a lot of fun to watch as we see a fight for the lead here with Smith going forward.
Brandon Smith to the race lead on lap 48. He's trying to do everything he can to take the lead. He keeps the lead back, and now it is Brandon Smith with the race lead, and Nelson Reeves, his teammates, lurking back there in third. And Nelson Reeves, he needs something good to happen. He only has one other top 10 this season outside of his win at Atlanta, and that top 10 came yesterday. So Nelson Reeves is really in the market for needing a good finish to try and keep his championship hopes alive, and here he comes. He's pushing Billy Kidd out to the lead.
And look, back in the mix once again.
Here comes Nelson Reeves. He's got a run on Billy Kidd. I don't think it's going to materialize off of this corner, though. But he's in striking distance, and that's really what you need here. But here comes Reeves. He dives down the inside on Billy Kidd for the race lead. Reeves going to try and take the lead for the first time today. At this point in the race, with Nelson Reeves leading, you gotta start thinking he's gonna be a championship hopeful once again. He's fallen off a little bit in recent weeks, but he's starting to come back, and who knows how this is gonna turn out once the checkered flag drops once again. But you got Eric Zenson making moves. He's up into third. He's trying to get past his teammate Billy Kidd. Could Eric Zenson try and sweep the weekend here at Nashville? It's a miracle for Eric Zenson to be doing this well. It shouldn't really be. He's doing a fantastic job. He's doing everything he needs to. He's got the lead. Well, he's got second right now. He's going after Reeves for the lead. This has just been a mess of a race, both on track and up in the booth. But regardless, Nelson Reeves doing a fantastic job leading this race, and if he can hang on to win this thing, wouldn't that be something that would really make these Kings Motorsports fans really happy with how this race turns out? But we still we're closing in on 20 laps to go now, and Nelson Reeves starting to stretch his legs a little bit. He's got a 3/10 lead, and at this point in time, I fully expect that Nelson's doing a nice job. He's doing a nice job keeping the lead. He's got Zenson back there to worry about. But at this point in the race, I would fully expect Eric Zenson to put the move on. He only led 3 laps yesterday, and I would fully expect him to hopefully lead a few more today if he's going to try and win again. But as we come now to start lap 54, Reeves has got a lead, but Zenson's trying to narrow the gap down a little bit. So at this stage of the race, I fully expect Zenson to just, because at this point everybody's good on fuel. They're not going to need the pit again. So Zenson just needs to focus on pressuring Reeves, but at the same time managing his stuff so that he has something at the end for the 71. Because at this stage of the race, you really need to have all your wits about you to try and make it.
This is exactly what we've talked about. That, of course, I'm not surprised Zenson's back up here. A lot of people that started in the back are, and it's good to see him here.
Yeah, we've got Robbers Racing, 3 of their 4 trucks in the top 5 now, with Zenson, Gutierrez, and Kidd, with Levi Forley not too far behind either. So Robbers Racing having a stellar day as we have 20 laps to go. Eric Zenson dives down the inside to take the lead for the second time this weekend.
No surprise whatsoever. And if he sweeps this, I am not going to be surprised. But he's going to have to worry about Gutierrez there coming up as well.
Yeah, Angel Gutierrez doing a fantastic job trying to win this race in only his 3rd start for the Robbers Racing team. Gutierrez, I fully expect, if he does this well on a part-time basis, I would expect Robbers Racing to give him a full-time opportunity next year. But you see Jensen Nomina, he's well off pace in that 65 after being involved in that crash earlier. So he's probably going to be lapped here pretty soon by these guys. And I would fully expect, once they catch him, they're going to breeze past him down the straight.
No question on that. And looks like the top 10 is shuffled once again as I see the 10 of Jacob Holtz. He's come back up in here as well, recovering from his earlier fall out of the top 10.
Yeah, he had a bit of a slow pit stop, did that 10 truck, but he's made his way back into the top 10 in 8th. That's a run he needs, honestly, for not only owner's points, but for morale as well. And look at this, Francois Chastain making a move up into the top 5. We haven't mentioned his name yet. He's now getting past Gutierrez for 3rd.
Yeah, it's good to see Chastain up there as they're coming up on the soon-to-be lap truck of Nomina. This is going to be interesting to see how this is handled.
Because Nomina is able to keep pace in the corners. It's just down the straights where he loses all his speed. And yes, Zenson, if they don't catch him on this straight, they're definitely going to catch him down the front stretch. As Zenson tries to get underneath the 65, but he can't do it. Could Nomina be playing team games for Chastain to try and help him get past? I don't think he's going to, though, because Zenson just got past him very easily.
Yeah, but you notice Chastain isn't having as much trouble there getting by him as Zenson did. But I don't know. That could just be a coincidence that they're teammates. But the top 2 are clear, and Rees tried to go through it for a second, thought better of it.
But he does dive to the inside of Angel Gutierrez, now up into the 3rd position for Nelson Rees, as Chastain runs 2nd, and Eric Zenson continues to lead. We've got about 15 laps to go now, and for Eric Zenson, imagine if he were to win back-to-back this weekend. That would be spectacular. Not just for him, but for Robbers Racing as a whole.
Talking earlier about a Robbers Racing sweep, we initially weren't even thinking about it being the same driver, but here we are as Chastain looks to make a move.
Yeah, Chastain has 3 career wins already in the Truck Series, 2 at Pukekohe Park, and 1 at the Michigan Speedway last year. So he knows how to win on both ovals and road courses. He's got a good chance to win here today if he can get past that 6 truck, which he should be able to with enough pressure.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Pressure. How much pressure can you put on someone before they give up and let you by? Well, in this case, it's not going to matter how much pressure you put on because they're not going to let you by as we close in on 10 to go.
No, but Chastain's going to force his way through anyway. So Francois Chastain, only 0.02 of a second off the lead at the line. He's going to dive it off into turn 1, and Chastain should be able to get the lead off of 2 if Zenson gives him a little space, and it looks like he will. Francois Chastain, 2 to lead, coming to 12 to go.
And we didn't talk about him at all until this race, so I think he got tired of not being talked about, and a win by Chastain wouldn't be bad, but I still think that there's a lot of other drivers there who, including Smith right behind him, who would like to have a say in what goes on.
Of course, Chastain has a win this season at Pukekohe Park, so he's already got one. Brandon Smith hasn't won yet this year. Eric Zenson's never won a race at all. Well, he would have been true if not for his win yesterday. But he's still looking for his 2nd win in a row and the 2nd of his career. But you got guys like Gutierrez, Billy Kidd, Terzic, Buchholz, Breeding, all those guys back there who don't have wins yet. If these guys were to run into some form of trouble, they'd be in the catbird seat.
Oh, absolutely. And looking through the field, and of course we see the people who are out of this race, and then you look at who's up front. And I've been having a good time with this race, despite the technical issues I've been having.
Yeah, it's one worth staying up for, as Zenson holds the lead with 10 laps to go. However, Nelson Reeves is right there, and he pushes the 6 up the racetrack a little bit. Could the 71 be lurking, waiting for his opportunity? And now, is Gutierrez going to try and make it 3 wide? No.
Nah, he's just going to push his teammate on by the 18. That's a good teammate for the moment.
But we're in the final 10 laps. There's no good teammates anymore. These guys need to go all out again to try and win this race. Because if they want to deny Eric Zenson the weekend sweep, they're going to have to work really hard to make that happen.
With less than 10 laps to go now, it's go time if you're going to try to make it to get by him.
So right now, Billy Kidd is in 4th spot. This is around where he was yesterday at this stage of the race. So he knows what to do in this position. As Zenson leads him across the line, we have 8 laps to go. I can do math correctly. Eric Zenson leads with 8 laps to go. And Nelson Reeves now in 2nd spot, just waiting for that opportunity.
Can't wait too long because Chastain, we talked about it. He's already got to win. Wants another one, but there's 2 trucks in his way. But we'll see what happens. Reeves looks like he's trying to set up for a move here.
Yeah, Reeves has a lot of momentum here down the front straightaway. We'll see if it pays off for him or not. At this point in the race, you got to go all out. We say it a bunch because it's true. Here comes Nelson Reeves, though, down the back straightaway. We'll see if he makes a move on Eric Zenson in the turn 3. He thinks better of it. But we're getting to that stage in the race where anything that happens could bring a premature end to this thing. So Reeves can't wait too long to make a move because even though he knows Zenson made a last lap pass, he can't afford to wait that long.
No, he cannot, especially when that one keeps peeking to his inside. That really isn't helping any, but looks like he's trying to make something happen now.
Yeah, here he comes. He's got a good run now. Down the inside goes Nelson Reeves into turn 3, and he gets alongside Zenson at last. So through 3 and 4 to complete lap 70. We're coming to 5 laps of racing to go. And Eric Zenson's going to lose the lead to Nelson Reeves. 5 laps to go.
That's not what he wanted to see, but, it's the nature of racing, especially as good a race as this has been.
Absolutely. And this isn't over yet for Nelson Reeves. He's got 4.5 laps to try and make something else happen out of this. But Chastain's now gotten past Zenson for 2nd. Could Chastain set up a move here pretty soon to make this an interesting race? Zenson fights back on the inside.
He wants that lead back, but he's got to get by the 2 who took 1st and 2nd away from him to get there. But you got Smith moving on side, 3 wide for 2nd.
3 wide for 2nd position, and here comes Brandon Smith trying to take 2nd spot away. He's going to try and challenge his teammate for this win. Down the backstretch they go. Nelson Reeves is coming to 3 laps between himself and his 2nd career win. Through turns 3 and 4. Nelson Reeves, he's got a big lead now ahead of his teammate Smith. Let's see if he can hold it. 3 laps to go.
So what he wants to see is his teammate back there fighting with the rest of them, try to keep him back there. And then he just wants to be able to set sail, but who knows? It might be a battle between King's Motorsports teammates here.
Down the backstretch they go. 2 laps to go at the line for Nelson Reeves. And for Brandon Smith, Terzic is making a move for 3rd. He could be a factor as well. And never mind, this race is going to come to an end because we have a caution on the speedway. For the 2nd time this race here on lap 73. That's going to do it. Nelson Reeves is going to be your winner because we've had a pretty big crash in the back straightaway. Brian Grigsby with heavy damage. Davtian with heavy damage. Gentry Shoy with a lot of damage as well. And there's Dalton Sade after such a strong day. His day ends early. And same for Jake and Janeda, Josh Gibson, Sam Muse. A lot of good trucks eliminated with just 2 laps to go. And now this is going to be over.
I better make sure to call the men and women back at the Crossroads shops and tell them we got a truck to repair. But yeah, Nelson Reeves, we thought he was going to have to fight for it, but as long as he can keep pace, this race is his, and boy, is it going to be big for him.
and the pit lane is open, but no one would even consider coming in at this point, even if they were gasping for fuel, because we're coming to the white flag, which is being displayed over the field right now. And if Nelson Reeves can last another 1.3 miles out in front of this field, he'll be your winner today.
So that's all he needs to do is pace this final lap, and the race is his. So, honestly, good for him. Happy to see it, but I don't want to congratulate him too early. So I think I might be quiet before I jinx him.
We've seen this happen before, though. We saw it in the Nitro National Series last year when Rashia Mahendra had a big crash. He was leading after a big crash. He was coming to take the checkered flag when his engine expired, and that gave Santiago Alvarez the win that day. So nothing's guaranteed, but it's getting closer and closer with each passing second as Nelson Reeves heads into turn 3 for the final time.
And all he's got to do, and I know he wants to go ahead and celebrate, but he also knows it's not over until he rolls under that checkered flag,
which should be coming any second now. So coming out of turn 4 behind the pace truck for the final time, Nelson Reeves fought from the back, fought his way all the way to the front. He started this race 36th. That's not going to matter to him because Nelson Reeves is going to take his second career win here at Nashville Superspeedway. Second win of his career, second win of the season. What a drive. Brendan Smith, though, comes home second for his best result of the season so far. Terzic comes home with another top 5 in third. Eric Zenson came so close to sweeping the weekend, but he will come home fourth. Francois Chastain rounds out the top 5 ahead of Billy Kidd 6th. Angel Gutierrez, I believe, finished 7th in both races this weekend. That's a great run of consistency for him. Nick Breeding gets his best result of the season in 8th ahead of Earl Sear 9th. Bronson Minnick rounds out the top 10 just in front of Roger James. As the field now gets ready to pull into the pit lane to signal the end of this race, this was quite the show for everybody involved. We're going to get you a replay as soon as everybody's pulled into their pits. We lost, I believe, 7 trucks in that accident on the final 3 laps. That was a big wreck for everybody involved.
Being a team owner with a truck involved in it myself, I understand the pain that all the other team owners are going to have to go through with forking over the money to repair or replace those trucks.
Yep, but as the field now pulls into pit lane to bring an end to this doubleheader weekend, man, despite the crash at the end of the race and the one at lap 28 as well, this was some great racing at Nashville, and I fully expect this format to come back next year as well. This has been a fantastic drive from everybody involved, and we had a few accidents along the way, but none too serious aside from this one. This has just been a great format, and I fully hope to see it again next year.
Love to see it come back, although I would love to be able to commentate it again, but at the same time, it just depends on how things play out. But so I will say, good show putting this on, and I would say let's come back for this next year.
So I believe it all starts with Sam Muse in the 45 in his debut weekend in one-up racing. He's going to have looks like he has a mechanical problem with that 45, slows down in front of a big pack of trucks, and some of them just don't get slowed up in time, and that just touches off a big chain reaction.
Yeah, and I think I need to update my message to the Crossroads shops, because I did not realize that Noah got involved in that as well. But so many with their varying levels of damage, but none worse than those who ended up not finishing this one.
Looking at this now from Brian Grigsby, he just had nowhere to go. He was getting crowded by Dalton. He gets plowed into from behind, I think, by the 46. Yeah, that's where he got most of his damage. He gets hit by the 05 of Chris Harvey. And man, a lot of guys did a great job avoiding that as well. Especially that 39 I saw of Saryev. He spreaded the needle very expertly in that accident wreckage as well. Riding on board now with Suleiman Saryev. He was running way at the back of this field. He sees the wreck up ahead of him, and he's going to try and slow down to avoid it. He's going to try and find a hole. He spots a hole, and he goes for it. Man, look at what the job he did.
It's impressive.
He gained 11 spots doing that. That's incredible.
Yeah, that just goes to show what good driving can do, and sometimes even that's not enough, but it certainly was for him in this case.
Absolutely. He did a fantastic job avoiding that wreck, and he gets a better finish as a result of that. But with that being said, that is it for Nashville Superspeedway. And for Turbo Truck Series racing for a little while, we should be back fairly soon, though. In fact, our next race is going to come at the end of this month in our nation's capital at Washington, D.C. You're going to be in that race, so I'm looking forward to seeing you behind the wheel of that 66 truck we saw doing very well in this race. So we're gonna hope for a lot of good as well from our nation's capital in Washington, D.C. But from James Ellison and from myself as well, we say goodbye from Nashville Superspeedway for the second time this weekend. A fantastic run for Nelson Reeves, who gets his second win of the season here at Nashville. This format's been fantastic. We hope to see you at it again next year.